Hi, my name is Debra R. Richardson of Debra R. Richardson LLC, and I work with you to help you clean up your vendor data, help you clean up your vendor processes, and pay the right vendor. Now, you might be wondering where my glasses are. This isn't me trying to be cute. This is me not being able to tape at night and have a better way to not have glare in my glasses from my lights. So I just took them off, which is kind of bad because I'm supposed to be reading this. So we'll kind of see what happens. But anyway, back to this week's Vendor Master File tip of the week, which is the IRS W-8BEN and the IRS W-8BEN-E forms updated. Why, yes, they have been. Thank you for that cue, Deborah. So now you probably have two questions. One, when do I need to use these two forms, the IRS W-8BEN and the IRS W-8BEN-E? And when was the new version published? And when am I required to collect that new version? So let me just preface all this by saying that I am not a tax professional. My background was as a practitioner, so we collected all of these forms in accordance with our guidance from our tax professionals. So when I talk, I am talking from the perspective of an accounts payable practitioner. So in that perspective, the answer to number one is when you are a U.S. entity and you are onboarding a vendor and that vendor is not located in the U.S. And so you may call them an international vendor, you may call them a foreign vendor or a foreign payee, you may call them a non-U.S. vendor. When you are onboarding those vendors for accounts payable payments, and that's why I really focus on the two W-8 forms, even though there are more. But the W-8 IRS W-8BEN is for when you are onboarding a vendor that is an individual, a foreign vendor that is an individual. And the W-8 BEN-E form is when you are onboarding a foreign vendor that is an entity. And so again, for the types of payments that are seen in accounts payable, those are the two most prevalent forms that are received, and you will collect them when you are a U.S. Entity that is dealing with a vendor that is not located in the U.S. And again, I am not a tax professional. I am totally certain that there are more conditions out there, but that is what I've seen as an accounts payable practitioner. So that was the answer to one. Now, the answer to two is when was it updated and when are you required to collect that new version? So the W-8BEN and W-8BEN-E were updated, published October 2021, and that is the date on those two forms, the new version. The last version, those were published July 2017. And so when do you have to start collecting them or requiring the new version? Well, the answer to that is that the IRS, when they publish new forms, they will give you a 6-month grace period, which means that you have through April 30th, 2022 to still accept the July 2017 version. After that date, you will be required to collect the October 2021 version. But here's a tip. For those of you that have expiring W-8s, because they do expire the third year after the signature date on 12/31 of that third year. So we're getting, as of the date when this was originally published, which was November 30th, 2021. So we're about a month out of when you have to collect those expiring W-8s. When you're doing that, if you send a communication to the vendor letting them know that you need to have an updated version of their applicable W-8, send out the October 2021 version for them to complete. And then that way, if they don't already have one completed for you, then you can, you don't have to worry about them not going out to the IRS and pulling down the most current version. You can send that to them and then they'll already have it. So a tip is to include the October 2021 blank version when you send the request to your foreign, international, non-US vendor, whatever you call them, to update or get an updated version of their W-8. And if you didn't know that you were supposed to collect those, or if you want a way to track those expiration dates at the end of this video, I will add a link to a way to track those W-8 expiration dates. And if you weren't already doing it, it's a great way to start. So I'll put a link to that, or that video will pop up at the end of this one. All right, so that's enough on the W-8BEN and W-8BEN-E. If you would like more information on how to improve your vendor processes, please go to my website at deborarrichardson.com, where you will find both free and paid resources to help you avoid fraud, regulatory fines, and just overall bad vendor data. So good luck, and be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified next Tuesday for the next Vendor Master File tip of the week.